My name is Shanequa Bernard, but I go by the alias Shanequa next. I have selected Benjamin Franklin as my master of choice. Here is a brief but specific background on Benjamin Franklin. Born in 1706, in 1718, Benjamin Franklin went to work as an apprentice in his brother James' printing facility. Franklin's brother James did not wish to give Franklin an opportunity to write for his large-scale newspaper called the New England Courant. Franklin created the persona Silence Dogwood, the female widow, to write submissions to the Current to show his brother that he was able to create content worthy to be in the Current. This plan worked, but when his brother found out the truth, he despised Franklin even more. Franklin left Boston and took his talent to Philadelphia. He was hired by Samuel Keimer to work in his printer shop, but the then governor, William Keith, sought Franklin out and promised to help fund Franklin's business. Franklin left his job with Keimer to pursue his business with the promise of funding by William Keith. Unfortunately, Keith was not a man of his word. After these incidents and more, Franklin began to wonder about himself and began to use specific knowledge and read people, learning his charm would not protect him from people who wished to misuse him. Franklin began to observe the behaviors of others around him and saw the darker side of them. With this new skill set, he was able to build a business and relationships after returning to work for Keimer, who allegedly despised Franklin and wanted to gather Franklin's knowledge and fire him. There are two references from Robert Greene's mastery that demonstrate why Benjamin Franklin is truly a master. The first, a major part of mastery is to recognize one's use of the naive perspective. Greene states, this is viewing people through the lens of our emotional needs. Benjamin Franklin was able to recognize his own use of the naive perspective, but realizing that one is viewing from this perspective is just half the battle. The second reference from Robert Greene's mastery that demonstrates why Benjamin Franklin is a master was his ability to improve his social intelligence. Franklin was able to move past his tendency to idolize and demonize people and started seeing and accepting them as they are. Example, Benjamin's brother, was envious of Franklin, and Governor Keith was not a man of his word. Learning from his prior mistakes and picking up the skill set to read people, Franklin was able to see that upon returning to work for Keimer, that Keimer had an ulterior motive. Franklin used his social intelligence to help see the situation he was in and use it for his benefit, ultimately creating his own business and using the connections he made while working for Keimer. The lessons I've learned from Benjamin Franklin can help me in my own personal journey by helping me spot when I'm operating in the naive perspective. I can train my mind to see people for who they are, not for who I wish them to be. In Robert Greene's mastery, there are 7 deadly realities. However, I will only expand upon envy and conformism. Speaking on envy, as Greene states, it is our nature to constantly compare ourselves to others. But if we are not careful, this deadly reality can become so toxic that we hurt or sabotage a person. According to Greene, conformism can be viewed as unwritten standards of correctness. If we're not careful, we can become tied down to a certain mindset that will limit our ability to create and innovate. If I could ask Benjamin Franklin 2 interview questions, the first question I would ask Benjamin Franklin would be, often we seek validation from our family members when it comes to pursuing our passions and returning to our origins. What advice would you give to someone who is stuck in the mindset of receiving approval of family members? The second question I would ask Benjamin Franklin would be, how was he able to keep his composure when he had the feeling that Keimer wanted to take advantage of him? These questions conclude my presentation. I look forward to applying the knowledge to my own mastery journey.